Hello viewers, today in this video we are going to study about how to understand the schematic diagram of notebook motherboard. Every schematic diagram contains the block diagram on the first page. This is the page number 1 of 47. This is the first page which contains the block diagram of this notebook motherboard. This is HP V3000 and DV2000 notebook PC. There are two types of processor we can use it in the same model. One is Intel based CPU and another one is AMD based. So this is Intel CPU. Every laptop contains 5 important chips. Not the modern laptops. The Core i3, i5 and i7s are 3 or 4 integrated circuits. This is Intel Centrino processor. So this type of little old laptops contains 5 important chips. Those are all the clock generator, CPU, GMCH, ICH and SIO chip. Central processing unit, clock generator, graphics and memory controller hub, ICH and keyboard controller. These 5 are very important. All the other voltage regulators are used to give the supply voltage to all these integrated circuits. So the CPU is connected with GMCH. The CPU is connected with GMCH through host bus controller. Okay, let's see on the original block diagram. The CPU is connected with GMCH through host bus controller. The host bus is the combination of address bus, data bus and control bus. The complete details about the CPU signals and voltages are given on the page number 4, 5 and 6. Okay, the signal, the sending signals and receiving signals, the supply voltages, everything are given in page number 4, 5 and 6. This is the clock generator. All the details about the clock generator contains page number 3. As you know, the CPU is the heart of the computer. As the same way, the CPU is the brain of the computer. As the same way, the clock generator is called as the heart of the computer. Suppose this clock generator is not functioning properly, then the clock signal will not produced or will not generated from this clock generator. Without the clock signals, the integrated circuits fixed on the notebook motherboard will not initiate, because every integrated circuit requires 3 important things: supply voltage, reset signal and clock signal. These 3 are very important for every integrated circuit, every chips on the motherboard. Okay, so if the clock generator fails to function, then the motherboard will be dead, or motherboard will be power on no display. So the Intel CPU is connected with GMCH. This is 2 MB or 4 MB L2 cache memory Intel CPU with front side bus speed of 667 MHz or 800 MHz. You can see this definition on the processor top side. This is Intel Centrino processor with 2 GHz speed, 2 MB L2 cache memory and 667 MHz FSB. This is the one more processor type. This is 2.2 GHz processor, 2 MB L2 cache memory and 800 MHz FSB. Okay, and this motherboard requires 2 MB L2 cache memory or 4 MB L2 cache memory with 667 or 800 MHz. Okay, so when you fix this specific CPU on the socket, now the CPU sends the clock signal to the clock generator. Now the clock generator checks the CPU which you fixed on the socket whether it is suitable or not. Then the clock generator sends the return signal to the CPU socket. Okay, if you are fixing the wrong microprocessor on the CPU, then the return signal will not come to this CPU socket. Okay, This is GMCH, Graphics and Memory Controller Hub, because this GMCH controls the DDR section as well as the video output section. This is NVIDIA dedicated graphics IC. This is optional. Not all the motherboard contains this dedicated graphics chip. If you buy the notebook motherboard with the graphics chip, then your video output you can get the high resolution video output, as well as the video rendering projects are little speed. So this NVIDIA is used to get the high speed video outputs as well as high quality video outputs. So this is optional. Suppose the NVIDIA is not present here, then all these signals connected to the GMCH. Okay, the GMCH directly delivers the video output to the video connectors. This is CRT, which is used to get the external video output through the VGA cable. Okay, VGA socket, cathode ray tube output. This is LCD, which is connected with your notebook motherboard, and the signal name is LVDS, low voltage differential signal. Low voltage differential signal. The signal is the processed signal is coming to this NVIDIA chip. Now the NVIDIA accelerates the signal and send the signals to LCD, CRT and TV out. Okay, and this is your DDR memory with 533 MHz or 667 MHz. This is a 2+2. This motherboard supports maximum 4 GB DDR2 memory sticks. Okay, DDR2 memory sticks. This is channel A, channel B, or DIMM slot 1, DIMM slot 2. So this GMCH connected with and controls the DDR memory section as well as the video section. So this chip is called as Graphics and Memory Controller Hub, and this chip is also called as North Bridge IC. This North Bridge IC is connected with ICH through DMI, Direct Media Interface. This is point-to-point connection. Okay, to get the high-speed signal transmission, and this is PCI Express into 16 connection. PCI Express into 16, that is 16 into 4, 64 lines, 32 for sending the signals and 32 for receiving the signals. Okay, so this is PCI Express into 16. This is DMI, Direct Media Interface connection. This ICH, this is ICH 8 version. ICH 2 and 4 are contains USB 1.1, and ICH 2 does not contain this serial ATA option. Okay, this is little high speed with compared to parallel ATA. Okay, this is SATA hard disk drive. This is parallel ATA optical disk drive. So this ICH is controls all the input and outputs fixed on your laptop motherboard. This is 1934 Rico card reader, which is used to read all these types card readers. Okay, and this is your RJ45 connector. This is RJ45 LAN IC. This is Ethernet IC. This is your RJ45 connector. One moment, let me change the cursor. Okay, fine. This is your RJ45 connector. This is your RJ45. This is your LAN IC. The LAN IC is connected through LCI signals to the ICH. Okay, to the ICH. Now the ICH sends and receives the signal to and from the LAN IC. The LAN IC sends the signal to RJ45 connector. Suppose your RJ45 connector is not working properly, then change your LAN IC. Before changing this LAN IC, please check the input voltages and the signals. Okay, the input voltages, mainly the input voltages. Okay, After receiving the voltages and signals, still the LAN IC is problematic, then you have to replace this IC. This is Marvell W8E8039 IC. Okay, so you have to change this IC. This is RJ11 radio jack 11, which is used to connect the internet through the telephone cable. This is little old. Nowadays this RJ11 is not used on the laptop motherboards. Okay, this is HD audio, high definition Realtek audio output. Okay, the HD audio is connected to the ICH, and the speakers are connected with audio amplifier IC. This is audio IC, this is audio amplifier IC. Okay, so the audio IC sends the signal to amplifier IC. The amplifier IC is used to balance your volumes. Okay, if you want to increase the volume, you can increase. If you want to decrease the volume, you can decrease. Suppose the audio is very feasible, you cannot increase the volume or you cannot reduce the volume, then there will be some problem with your audio amplifier IC. Okay, these are all the mini quad connector and the wireless LAN connector. This is your wireless LAN, this is WWAN. These are all connected with PCI Express signals. And this is your internal camera connected with your LCD screen. Okay, this is Bluetooth. This is USB into 3. USB into 3. This is not USB 3.0. This is USB into 3. There are 3 USB outputs on this motherboard, and all these 3 outputs are USB 2.0, not 3.0. Okay, modern laptops are contains USB 3.0. This is USB 2.0. This is serial ATA, serial advanced technology architect, which is used to connect your hard disk drive. This is parallel ATA, which is used to connect your DVD writer, optical disk drive. Okay, and this is LPC bus, which is used to connect. This is very important. This is keyboard controller, SIO. This is also called as super IO chip, super input output chip. Okay, this super IO chip is connected with the BIOS, thermal section, and internal keyboard touchpad. These 4 are very important: touchpad, internal keyboard, thermal fan, and BIOS. The internal keyboard is connected with SIO chip because you have to change the BIOS options, you have to change the dates before booting your notebook motherboard. Okay, so you have to change the boot priority so that the internal keyboard is connected with the keyboard controller. Okay, and this is thermal fan. Suppose the microprocessor gets overheated, then this processor sends the signal to, I'll show you on this block diagram. Yeah, this is the thermal sensor. If the CPU gets the overheated, then the CPU sends the signal to the thermal sensor. Now the thermal sensor is connected with the keyboard controller. Okay, the SIO chip. Now the SIO chip sends the return signal to thermal section to power on the CPU fan, which is fixed on the CPU side. Okay, the CPU fan is not always running. When the CPU gets over temperature, then the signal come to SIO. Now the SIO sends the return signal to thermal sensor to power on, to send the signal to the CPU fan thermal sensor. Okay, now the sensor turns on the fan, which is connected with CPU. And these are all the voltage regulators. Okay, this is 5 volts and 3.3 volts step down SMPS regulator. This is the first output. This is always output, which is used to power on the SIO chip and BIOS, power button, everything. Okay, this 3.3 volt goes to SIO chip, BIOS, and power button. Okay, this is always voltage. I will tell you what is always voltage, what are S3, S5 and S0 voltages. Okay, so this is your 5 volts and 3.3 volts regulator IC. This is 1.05 volt and 1.8 volt regulator IC. This is VGA core. This is your VCC core, CPU core voltages. Okay, all these regulators requires only one input signal, which is called as DC bat out. Okay, this DC bat out is getting out from the charger IC. The DC bat out will be either 19 volt or 12 volt. If you connect your notebook motherboard with a DC adapter, then it is 19 volt. Suppose If it is not, if you are not connecting this notebook motherboard with DC adapter, then the battery takes the control. Now it is 12 volt or 10.5 volt, 11 volt. This is depends on the battery you fixed on your notebook PC. Okay. So the DC bat out is the core input, main input for the all these regulators. And this is layer details, PCB layers. This is 10 layer notebook motherboard. Okay, this is 10 layer notebook motherboard. The motherboard is not single layer. Okay, this is 10 layer. This is the top layer, this is bottom layer, that is this is layer 1, this is layer 10. In between there are 8 layers. Okay, and all the layers are insulated, and all these layers are like the sandwich. Okay, the sandwich. This is the bottom layer, this is the top, this is the top layer, this is the bottom layer. In between there are 8 layers. All the layers are insulated. Okay, all the layers are insulated. So the top layer and bottom layer, layer 3, layer 4, layer 7 and layer 8 are used to transmit the signals between the components, and layer 6 is used to supply voltages, main input voltages. Okay, and other layers are used for ground signals. Okay, the layer 1, the first layer, top layer, bottom layer, and L3, L4, L7, L8 are used to transmit the signals. This is the only one layer which is used to transfer the voltages. Okay, VCC voltages, and other layers are used for grounds. Okay, so this is the definition about the block diagram. Let's see the schematic diagram next. These are all the voltages. Okay, RTC, VCC is from your RTC battery. These are all the voltages. This is the first voltage, DC bat out. This is the first voltage, DC bat out, and this voltage goes to page number 16 to 47. Page number 16, 17, 34, so and so to 47. Okay, if you want to see the details about this DC bat out, just type page number 16 here. Yes, page number 16, which contains the details about LCD inverter connector. Okay, LCD inverter requires 19 volt or 12 volt as DC bat out signal. Let's see where it is. Yeah, it's here. Okay, this LCD connector, this is LCD connector, this is LCD connector which requires 19 volt or 12 volt as DC bat out here. Okay, this is page in pin number 39. The DC bat out goes to pin number 38 and 39. Pin number 38 and 39, and this other end is grounded with the capacitor. Okay, so let's go back to page number 2. And this DC bat out is also goes to page number 17, 34, 35, 36 like that. Okay, and this is 1.05 volt underscore S0. There are 3 types of voltages on the notebook motherboard. Without pressing power button, without pressing power button, there are 4 types of voltages available on the present on the motherboard. Okay, this voltage is called as always voltage. When you powering on the computer, then immediately produced voltage is called as the suspend voltage. Okay, and finally S0 voltages. This is S0 voltage. These voltages are called as run voltage. Okay, there are 3 types of voltages. This is 1.2 volt underscore LAN underscore S5. This is used to 1.2. This 1.2 volt is used on the LAN port. Okay, this is the DDR-V reference, LCD VCD, LCD VDD, VCC core underscore S0. This is for CPU core voltage. Okay, AD plus. This is the first input signal. Okay, the AD plus is the first input signal, first input voltage. Sorry, not signal. Let's see. Yes, adapter in to generate DC bat out. adapter in, when you plug in your adapter, then this is the first voltage generated on the motherboard. This is your adapter socket. When you plug in the adapter is connected with these connectors, okay, these connectors, and this adapter voltage, this is 19 volt. This 19 volt goes to this MOSFET, and this voltage, this output voltage is called as AD plus. This AD plus goes to charger IC. Yes, this is charger IC. This is AD plus input signal, okay. The AD plus which coming out from this that MOSFET is come to this charger IC section. This is the MOSFET, okay, this is MOSFET. This is the arrow is outside, so this is the P channel MOSFET. P channel MOSFET conducts the voltage from drain to source, okay. The input side is connected on the drain, the output side is connected on the source. So this MOSFET is acts as the diode, just acts as the damper diode. This does not require the gate voltage. So the 19 volt is coming to this drain, and without any gate control, this 19 volt pass through this source side, okay. All the some MOSFETs, not some MOSFET, most of the MOSFETs are used on the notebook motherboard is acts as the switches, not the diodes, okay. So this is charger IC. Let's see the components. This is your clock generator, page number 3. As I told, this is clock generator. All the details about the clock generator is in page number 3. All the details about the GMCH is page number 7 to 12. If you type page number 7, then it directly goes to the GMCH section, okay. This is Crestline 1 of 6. Crestline means the model of the GMCH used on this particular motherboard, okay. So this will vary. So Crestline is the model for this particular notebook PC. This is part 1 of 6 of this single IC, okay. This is 1 of 10. This integrated circuit details, okay. This is the GMCH. Yeah, it's here. This is your GMCH, okay. This is your GMCH U23. Just watch closely. This is U23A, okay. This is U23B. All this A, B, C, D, 2, 3, 4, 5, everything defines about only the single chip, not different chips, okay. This is the single GMCH chip, okay. So this is 1 of 10, 2 of 10, and the final last page contains 10 of 10, okay. All these pages are containing about the complete details about the GMCH. 10 of 10. This is U23J, A, B, C, D to J. This is 10 of 10. All these are defines about the voltages, signals, okay. VSS signals. These are all the signals. And these are all the input voltages. 1.05 volt underscore S naught is the voltage. 1.05 volt underscore S naught is the voltage. 1.8 volt underscore S3 is the voltage. And these are all signal. VSS NCTF is the signal. And these are all signals. Okay, VSS SCB, these are all signals, not the voltages. These are all voltages, input voltages. And all the sections are separately defined. This is for CRT, this is VTT, this is PLL, this is LVDS, this is your internal LCD. Okay, this is your internal LCD, this is your external monitor, video output. Okay, SM clock, TV out, DMI. So you can get all the details about your GMCH. This is your VGA. These are all dummy here because the signals are goes to PCI Express graphics. These are all active because all the signals are goes to PCI Express card. That is your in the graphics card, NVIDIA graphics card, dedicated NVIDIA graphics card. So all these signals are dummy here. LVDS is also dummy here because the video output, LVDS video output, TV out and CRT, VGA, everything taken out from the GMCH. If you see the GMCH section, it's easier to understand. The GMC page number 39, 38, 39, 40. Yes, this is the signals. Okay, so these are all the signals goes to LVDS, VGA and TV out. Okay, so these are all active. These are all active now because the GMCH is sends the signal to the graphics controller, graphics chip. Now the graphics chips accelerate the signals and send it to the LVDS, VGA and TV out. Okay. So let's go back again to clock generator. Yeah, this is the input signal for the clock generator. This is the input signal 3.3 volt. 3D 3V stands for 3.3 volt underscore S naught. Okay, underscore S naught means this is run power. This is not always power. This is not suspend power. This is run power underscore CK. CK stands for clock generator 505. Okay, clock generator 505. This is 1.25 volt underscore S naught for clock generator. These two are getting out from the voltage regulator. Okay, let's see on the voltages section. And this is the output signal from clock generator. Okay, this is this signal is goes to page number 4. Page number 4 contains the CPU section. Okay, these signals are goes to page number 4. These signals are goes to CPU. These signals are goes to GMCH. Okay, because the page number 7 contains the GMCH details. Page number 7 GMCH. Okay, so this is this is to CPU, this is to GMCH, again CPU, and this is page number 27 which contains the LAN details. Okay, which contains the LAN details. These are all the output signal and this is the input signal. Watch closely. This is the input signal. The arrow is inside. This is the input signal which comes from new card underscore clock REQ hash. This is from page number 28 which is also contains the LAN details and new card, wireless card details. Okay, this is the input signal. These are all the output signal. And these are all two-way signals. Yes, these are all the two-way signals. These are all the two-way signals. The ICS underscore SM data is sending to page number 13, 14, 20 as well as the same signal from 13, 14, 20 comes to clock generator. Okay, this is the input. This is the input signal. This is the output signal. And this is the two-way signal, sending and receiving signals. Okay, this is the two-way signal. And component names. The integrated circuits are mentioned as U. Okay, U or Q. Let's see the chart. Yes, this is the laptop motherboard component chart. Okay, this is resistor. This is old type resistor, not used on the notebook PC. These types of resistors are used on the 2-in-1s and televisions, old model televisions. Okay, this is SMD. Okay, the function for these two components are same. Okay, this is surface mount devices. These devices are called as surface mount devices. The symbol is like this. Okay, if you see the block diagram, if you see the schematic diagram, you can easily understand. This is the resistor symbol. This is the resistor symbol, and the resistor is mentioned as R. Okay, R is the normal resistor, PR is the power resistor. Okay, this is normal resistor. PR means power resistors, which is used on the power lines. Okay, so R or PR. Okay, as I shown you, R or PR, the symbol is like this. Okay, and the next component is capacitor. This is the electrolyte capacitor. This is ceramic capacitor. Electrolyte capacitors are polarized. This is non-polarized. Okay, there is no polarity for this capacitor, whereas these capacitors are polarized. This is the positive signal and another one is the negative signal. But these capacitors are, you can fix this capacitor in any direction because there is no polarity for this capacitor. Okay, the symbol is like this, and the name on the schematic diagram is schematic diagram and motherboard is C or PC, capacitor or power capacitor. I will show you. Yes, the capacitor is mentioned like this. This is the symbol, this is the name. C457 is the capacitor name. It is also mentioned on the motherboard. Yes, this is C323, C322. Okay, these capacitor, these are all the capacitor. C323, this is C323, 324, 322, 324, 325. Okay, if it is power capacitor, then the name will be PR. That's all. Okay, this is resistor. There is no resistor here, and this R168 is present here. Okay, these are all the resistors. This is the electrolyte capacitor. Okay, this is the electrolyte capacitor. This contains polarity, positive and negative polarity. If you fix the reverse polarity, then the capacitor will be damaged immediately when you power on the computer. So the polarity is very important for ceramic electrolyte capacitors. Okay, yeah, these are all the electrolyte capacitors. This is the electrolyte capacitor, and this is ceramic capacitor. These are all the resistors. Okay, and the integrated circuits are mentioned as U or Q. This is U21. If you type on the schematic U21, you can directly go to the chip page. This is U21, and this is for charger. Okay, this is the charger IC. The charger IC is located very close to the charger pins. Let's see on the board. This is charger IC, and the charger pins are on the bottom side. Okay, this is your DC in connector, the first connector. This is when you plug in your adapter, then the cable comes to this connector. Okay, the input voltage is coming to this connector. This is the first one, and this is your LCD connector. This is N channel MOSFET. The name of the MOSFET is right on the chip. Okay, the right on the MOSFET, top of the MOSFET. Okay, this is a drain, this is source, because the dot is here. The source starts from the dot symbol. The dot is the symbol for finding the source point. Okay, there are 3 source, 1 gate and 4 drains. Every MOSFET contains 8-leg MOSFET contains 3 source terminal, 1 gate terminal and 4 drain terminal. This is source, or this is pin number 1. Pin number 1, 2, 3 or source, this is gate, this is drain. Either it is P channel or N channel, this concept is same. Okay, this is source, pin number 1, 2, 3 are source, this is pin number 4, and this is drain points. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. If you want to know about whether it is N channel or P channel, just easily goes to Google and type this model 4433. I will show you 4433 data sheet. Yeah, it's come to here. Yes, this is P channel enhanced mold feed effect transistor. Okay, this is P channel. As I told you, the 8-leg MOSFET contains, this is the dot symbol, this is the identification for us. So the dot symbol is pin number 1, pin number 1, 2, 3 is source, pin number 4 is the gate, pin number 5, 6, 7, 8 are drain. Okay, and this is the P channel. I'm sorry, you can also find whether it is P channel or N channel through the symbol. Okay, this symbol is also available on your schematic diagram. This is your schematic diagram. This is the symbol for MOSFET. Okay, this is the symbol for MOSFET. The MOSFET number is also given in this schematic diagram. That is why we prefer to go through the schematic diagram for the beginners. Okay, it is very easy to troubleshoot the notebook motherboard when you follow the schematic diagram, so that you can apply the exact components, or you can directly go to the problematic sections. If the laptop hard disk is not functioning, then you can directly go to SATA connector. If the ODD is not functioning after replacing, then you can directly go to ODD section. Okay, so that's why the schematic is very important for the beginners. This is A04407. Okay, if you want to know whether it is N channel or P channel, simply remember, if the arrow is outside, then it is P channel MOSFET. If the arrow is inside, then it is N channel MOSFET. The arrow inside the circuit diagram. Okay, the arrow is outside, not this arrow. This is not arrow, this is the diode. Okay, this is the arrow symbol. This is the arrow is outside, so this is the P channel MOSFET. P channel MOSFET conducts the voltage from drain to source. Okay, drain to source, drain to source. So the drain point, the input side is connected at the drain side, and the source is at the output side. So the voltage is coming over here. All these 3 pins are same, all the 4 pins are same. So the drain voltage is come to this diode. The diode conducts the positive voltage from anode to cathode, the negative voltage from cathode to anode. So the diode conducts the positive voltage here to here, the anode to cathode. There is no gate control required for this MOSFET. Okay, there is no gate control required for this MOSFET. The 19 voltage is coming over here, goes through this diode and easily reaches the source side. Okay, let's see. Oh, now check, the arrow is outside. This is also the N channel MOSFET, the same port number A04407. Okay, I'll show you one P channel MOSFET. Yeah, this is P channel MOSFET. The arrow is inside, the arrow is inside, and in this symbol the arrow is outside, the arrow is outside. Okay, and here the arrow is inside. Yeah, the arrow is inside here. The arrow is inside. This is U12 SI4800 U12. If you want to see this MOSFET on the motherboard, on the just check U12. U12 is fixed close to the charger section. This is U12. See, this is U12. This is U13. The part number is here. U13. This is U12. Okay. U12. This is pin number 1. Pin number 1, 2, 3 source. Pin number 4 is separate. Watch closely. I will show you one more diagram. Yeah, this is the MOSFET. These three are on the single bed. This is separate. Watch closely. This is separate. This is separate. See the color. This is totally different. Okay. Yeah, this is totally different. This is totally different. This is gate. Okay. This is source. Pin number 1, 2, 3 source. This is gate. And these 4 are the drain points. Okay, so the arrow is inside, then it is N channel MOSFET. If the arrow is outside, then it is P channel MOSFET. P channel MOSFET conducts the voltage from drain to source, whereas the N channel MOSFET conducts the voltage from source to drain. Okay, but in this notebook, all the notebook motherboards, the diodes, the MOSFETs are used as the switch. They will not connect the input side on the right point. Okay, so it's reverse side. For example, this is the arrow is inside, so this is the N channel MOSFET. N channel MOSFET conducts the voltage from source to drain, but the input is connected on the drain side, not source side. If you connect the source side, there is no voltage required to transpose the signal to drain, because the diode conducts the voltage, positive voltage like this, and the voltage goes to drain, but the input is connected on the drain side. Now what happens? The drain point, the input 19 volt, I think this is DC bat out. Yes, this is DC bat out. This 19 volt or 12 volt come to this point and stops here. Okay, and stops here because that cathode does not conduct the voltage. This is cathode, this is anode. Okay, cathode does not conduct the voltage, so this MOSFET waiting for the gate signal. Okay, when the gate conducts, when the gate receives the voltage, then this 19 volt comes passed to the source side. Okay, so this is not full definition about the MOSFET. Okay, this is the small definition. If you understand the working concept of MOSFET, then you can decide yourself. You have completed the laptop chip level course more than 80%, because that is the main component, that is the very important component used on the notebook PC. If you see the notebook, there are so many components, there are so many MOSFETs used on the laptop motherboard. Okay, these are all the MOSFETs. These are all the MOSFETs, and the working concept for the MOSFETs are same, but there are two types of MOSFETs. One is the N channel and another one is the P channel. Okay, so you have to find out whether it is N channel or P channel before replacing the MOSFET. And the MOSFETs are on Q or PQ. Okay, the symbol is ohms, and this is inductor. Okay, inductors are used to balance the voltages. Okay, the inductor symbol is like this. Yeah, these are all. This is the inductor L38 on the charger section. L38. Yeah, these are all the inductors. Okay, this is L31. L31. Yes, this is L31. Okay, this is the inductor which is fixed. I think this is the 5 volts and 3.3 volts regulator IC. This is 5 volts and 3.3 volts first step down SMPS IC. Okay, this is L30. This is L30 and this is L30. L31. Okay, L31. This is L31. This is L30. So these two are conductors. There are so many conductors on the motherboard. The conductors are used to trigger or balance the voltage. And the next component, these are all the transistors. Okay, these are all the transistors. This is the transistor. This is the transistor. There are two types of transistor, N channel and P channel. This is diode. The character of diode and the working concept of diode is very important, because this working concept decides the entire working concepts of notebook motherboard. The diode, the beauty of diode is converts the voltage from AC to DC and conducts the voltage from positive anode to cathode. Okay, it will not allow the positive voltage on the cathode side. Okay, so every MOSFET contains, every transistor contains the diode inside. So this is a diode and this is fuse. I think there is no explanation required for this. If you give some wrong voltage or high voltage, for example Sony notebook PCs are 15 or 16 volt. If you fix the 19 volt adapter, then the fuse will be break. For the safety purpose, it will not allow the high voltage to the next level. Okay, so this is fuse. This is crystal, which is used to send the clock signals to the integrated circuits. Let's see the crystals on the motherboard. Yeah, this is crystal. It's here. This is crystal. Okay. Yeah, 24.576 megahertz. Okay, this is 24.5676 megahertz crystal, which is used for the Ricoh card reader. This is card reader chip. Okay, this is card reader chip. This is your RJ45 connector and video outputs. This is external VGA. This is your CPU socket. This is dedicated NVIDIA graphics chip, conductors, electrolyte capacitors. This is also electrolyte capacitor. This is your DIMM1 and DIMM2 slots. This is your ODD, optical disc. This is your hard disk drive, SATA port. This is your ODD, DVD writer. This is your connectors. Okay, battery charging connectors. This is the South Bridge IC. This is also called as ICH. This is your North Bridge. It's also called as GMCH. This is your SIO chip. Okay, all the details about this is ENEKB3910SF. Let's see. Page number 31 contains SIO details. This is KB3910 details. Okay, this is your KB3910 chip. KB3910SF. Okay, this is your SIO chip. This is your MOSFET. Here is the dot, you can see closely. This is the dot. So this is pin number 1, pin number 2, pin number 3. These 3 are source. This is separate, this is on the separate pad gate, and these 4 are the same. Okay, all the pins are connected internally. You can, if you see, yes, this is the simple MOSFET diagram. All these 4 are same pin. Okay, all these 3 are same pin. The gate is different. When you connect the 19 volt here, this voltage will not goes to this source. Okay, so the gate signal is required here to conduct the voltage. So the gate signal is getting out from the integrated circuits. Now the gate signal goes to this MOSFET. This 19 volt transpassing to this source. MAX 8743. Okay, this is your MAX 8743. Yes, MAX 8743 is your 1.5 volt and 1.05 volt and 1.8 volt regulator IC. MAX 8743. Okay, so these are all the details about the schematic diagram. And our next video, let's see the important signals, important voltages used on the laptop motherboard. Okay, this is this is the voltage chart. These are all the voltages. These are all S0, S1. This is the run voltage. S5 is the always voltage. There is no power button required. Before pressing the power button, this voltage present on the notebook motherboard. This is S3. After pressing power button, very immediately this suspend voltages are produced. After 99 millisecond, this run voltage will be generated. Okay, there are 3 types of voltages. Let's see the brief details on our next video. Thanks for watching. Good day.